Have you ever noticed that some people move through life as though the world itself bends around them? Perhaps someone tries to deceive or dominate them, yet influence slips from their grasp. Schemes unravel before they are complete, and intentions backfire in ways that seem almost impossible. Certain hands carry more than lines. They carry authority, purpose, and a quiet power that commands attention without seeking it. For centuries, ancient traditions in India, China, and Egypt observed that some souls arrive marked subtly on their palms. These are not marks of luck or vanity. They are signatures of a life under watchful guidance, lines that hint at extraordinary protection, resilience, and a destiny intertwined with the natural order. Those who bear them move in the world like a stabilizing presence, and those who act against them often encounter consequences faster than they anticipate. Even for those without these marks, the principle holds. Every intention, every action leaves an imprint. Harm, malice, and deceit are rarely lost. The balance of life has its own ways of responding. Understanding this is not a lesson in fear. It is a lesson in awareness, empowerment, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing life is never random. Vibrational rebound. When the universe responds. Some hands carry more than markings. They carry authority, guardianship, and the subtle signal of alignment with life's natural laws. When someone acts with malice toward such a person, it is no longer a personal conflict. It is interference with something far greater, a mission, a balance, a soul moving in step with the unseen order. The universe responds accordingly. Picture a finely tuned instrument. When someone strikes a dissonant note against it, the sound does not settle. It reverberates back to its source, clear and undeniable. Those who try to dominate may feel influence evaporate, their power slipping through their fingers. Those who manipulate may stumble into confusion, self-doubt, or circumstances that force them to face truths they had hoped to avoid. The correction is precise, immediate, or subtle, yet always aligned with restoring balance. Ancient palmistry in India, China, and Egypt recognized this principle. Certain marks, the Ring of Solomon, the Lotus, the mystic cross, the Star of Jupiter, signify spiritual authority, purity of vibration, or a guardian role. They are cosmic checkpoints, visible only to those who know how to read the subtle language of life. For the bearer, these marks are not a shield they wield consciously. They are an assurance that the path of purpose is protected, that interference cannot touch the integrity of their journey, and that life will quietly, inexorably correct imbalance. The 7 palm marks, the trigger instant karma. Among the countless lines, ridges, and shapes that map a hand, 7 marks stand apart. They are subtle, rare, and profoundly powerful. Marks that do more than suggest destiny. Each one carries authority, each one signals protection, and each one draws a quiet line of correction across the path of anyone who would interfere. These marks speak of the soul's mission, the unseen guidance surrounding it, and the natural order that preserves balance. As we explore each mark, notice how something as delicate as a line or a shape can ripple through reality. Notice how they reflect the depth of experience, the weight of purpose, and the authority that comes from a life aligned with unseen forces. To encounter them is to glimpse the subtle architecture of karma and protection, a reminder that life itself is neither random nor blind, and that integrity is never left unguarded. Ring of Solomon, cosmic law enforcement. Beneath the index finger, resting on the mount of Jupiter, lies the Ring of Solomon, a mark subtle yet unmistakable. At first glance, it might seem like a gentle curve, a quiet line on the skin, but it is anything but ordinary. It is a signature of authority, written by the universe itself. The soul beneath it moves through life not merely as a participant, but as an ambassador, a master technician of cosmic order. Meet them, and you feel it immediately, a gravity so calm it almost hums. Rooms settle around them. Conversations shift. Energy aligns itself without force, without demand. Attempt to manipulate, deceive, or dominate. They will fail, not because the bearer acts aggressively, but because life itself corrects the disturbance. Schemes unravel. Influence evaporates. Intentions meant to harm boomerang with precise, unerring clarity. It's as if the universe whispers, "Try that, and see how quickly you return to your own reflection." This authority does not require boast or display. It is quiet, unshakable, absolute. Yet, it is not for the bearer's comfort. It is a responsibility. Every action of theirs carries consequence, and any attempt to interfere with their journey triggers immediate recalibration. Clarity slips from the hands of manipulators. Power dissolves mid-stride. Ambition falters, often before it has a chance to seed. Interfering with a person marked by the Ring of Solomon is no longer a personal matter. It is trespassing against the fabric of life itself. For the exceptionally rare individual who carries double Solomon marks on one palm, the resonance multiplies. Dual lines are twin signals to the unseen order. Interference does not simply rebound. It magnifies, reflecting and amplifying imbalance, so the universe ensures the mission proceeds unbroken. These souls operate on multiple frequencies, managing responsibilities invisible to ordinary perception. Their presence alone maintains equilibrium, but their double mark signals layers of authority, protection, and karmic vigilance. Imagine a finely tuned crystal. Strike it, and the vibration echoes back, precise, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. That is the energy surrounding the Ring of Solomon. It does not bend. It does not falter. It reflects disturbance back to its source with mathematical precision. The bearer may not even lift a hand, yet any attempt to harm or deceive triggers correction so subtle and immediate that the world itself feels the alignment shift. This is the supreme mark in karmic terms. It commands respect quietly, without spectacle. Its presence is a living law, a line of cosmic authority etched in flesh. Some hands carry more than lines. They carry integrity, alignment, and authority, encoded by the architecture of existence itself. To encounter a Ring of Solomon is to witness life correcting itself in real time. Lotus, high voltage shield. At the center of the palm, almost hidden to the casual eye, lies the Lotus mark. Quiet, unassuming, yet beneath this stillness pulses extraordinary power. Those who carry it have walked through betrayal, negativity, and hardship, and emerged untouched, refined, resilient. The Lotus does not fight. It does not strike. It does not even resist. It simply reflects. And when it does, the reflection is precise, amplified, and impossible to ignore. Try to deceive a Lotus bearer, and your intentions bounce back. Attempt manipulation, and obstacles appear as if life itself has intercepted your plan. Malice aimed at this soul does not vanish. It doubles, rebounds, and teaches without cruelty, but with absolute clarity. The lotus is a mirror, unflinching, untarnished, untouchable. It does not need to act aggressively. Its purity alone is the law. Those who meet a lotus bearer may notice the effect subtly at first. A sudden misstep in their plans, an unexpected miscommunication, luck slipping just out of reach. It escalates if ill intent persists. Regret grows unavoidable, confusion amplifies, and schemes collapse. It is as if the universe leans in, saying, "See what your energy truly carries." What makes the lotus extraordinary is its impartiality. Status, intellect, cunning, none of it matters. Any harm directed toward its bearer meets the same unyielding correction. Meanwhile, the lotus bearer moves freely, unburdened by retaliation, shielded by clarity and inner alignment. Life flows for them, while the world around recalibrates the chaos others try to inject. Imagine a calm lake at dawn. A stone thrown into it does not vanish. It sends ripples, reflecting both the sky and the impact. The lotus is this lake. Energy strikes, ripples back, and teaches the sender the weight of their own intent. No drama, no spectacle, only pure, inevitable reflection. This mark carries one of the highest levels of karmic precision. It does not punish, it reveals. The bearer experiences life with grace and unshakable equilibrium. Those who seek to disrupt their flow encounter the truth of their own choices instantly. In every sense, the lotus is a high-voltage shield, subtle, silent, yet electrifyingly effective. Mystic Cross, System Firewall. Where the headline meets the heart line, forming a subtle X in the center of the palm, lies the mystic cross. At first glance, it seems modest, just a faint intersection of lines. But those who understand the language of the hands know better. This mark is a guardian, a living firewall for the soul. Those who bear the mystic cross are profoundly sensitive, attuned to currents and intentions that escape most people, with an intuition that perceives imbalance before it surfaces. Yet this awareness never drives aggression. Manipulation, deceit, or domination directed at them falters effortlessly. Plans unravel, opportunities vanish, obstacles arise, as if life itself has intervened. Nothing violent, nothing dramatic, just the quiet, precise correction of disturbance, guided by their deep perception and calm, steady presence. It is like walking across a frozen pond. Those who step carelessly near a mystic cross-bearer feel the subtle tremor before the crack widens. Life itself signals, this boundary is not to be crossed. The mark enforces integrity at a frequency too precise to escape, subtle, systemic, unavoidable. For the bearer, existence flows with clarity. Their path is not one of constant battle or vigilance. They move through the world like a river whose course cannot be diverted. Calm, consistent, protected. Those who attempt harm are caught in a ripple that corrects their trajectory before disruption can take hold. It is swift, exact, and impartial, reflecting the universe's insistence on alignment rather than personal vengeance. The mystic cross is about boundaries beyond the visible. It preserves purpose, shields frequency, and maintains the delicate balance of higher order mission. The world may appear chaotic to outsiders, but for the one marked, every interference is met with a precise, almost imperceptible resistance, a recalibration designed to restore harmony before consequences escalate. Imagine a finely tuned network where every signal must remain balanced. Interference is not destroyed, it is rerouted, neutralized, and corrected automatically. This is the mystic cross. It is the unseen firewall of life, a systemic guardian of truth, purpose, and subtle authority. Star of Jupiter. Mission activation. Just beneath the index finger, often near the Ring of Solomon, glimmers the Star of Jupiter. Tiny, almost unassuming, yet it radiates a presence that quietly pulls the world into alignment. This mark does not command, it activates. It signals readiness, purpose, and a subtle authority that reaches far beyond the personal. Those who bear it move as if guided by invisible currents. Their choices ripple outward, shaping opportunities, synchronizing encounters, and opening paths that seem accidental, yet every step is orchestrated. Life itself bends gently to ensure their mission remains uninterrupted. Interfere with them, and the response is immediate. Not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakable. Plans unravel, luck slips away, advantages evaporate. Small missteps compound, revealing the cost of disruption. It is as if the universe leans in, whispering, "This purpose cannot be obstructed." The Star of Jupiter is about activation, not protection. It does not deflect energy like the Lotus, nor does it enforce authority like the Ring of Solomon. Instead, it lights the way, aligning circumstances, relationships, and choices with the soul's calling. Those who try to manipulate or harm find themselves gently, but firmly, redirected. Confusion, delays, and subtle setbacks ensure the mission cannot be derailed. For the bearer, life flows with a sense of rhythm. Challenges arise, but they are calibrated. Not punishment, but guidance. Each event reinforces clarity, purpose, and focus. The star teaches trust in the flow, the art of letting life's architecture orchestrate outcomes. Imagine a lighthouse in the fog. Its beam does not attack ships, but any vessel straying into dangerous waters is warned, nudged, corrected. The Star of Jupiter functions the same way. A signal, a guide, a stabilizing force that protects the integrity of mission and intention. In essence, this mark embodies purpose in motion. Those who bear it are activated, aligned, and subtly unstoppable. Interference is neither ignored nor tolerated. It is met with precise, natural correction, ensuring the journey unfolds exactly as it is meant to. Healer's Stigmata, Truth Detector. Beneath the little finger, faint vertical lines trace the Mercury mount. This is the healer's stigmata. At first glance, it might seem delicate, almost invisible, but its presence is precise, unyielding, and quietly commanding. Those who carry it see through energy like sunlight through water. Nothing hidden, nothing disguised, nothing that intends harm can pass unnoticed. It is not confrontation that defines this mark. It is perception. Deceit, manipulation, lies, or hidden agendas become transparent. Like a finely tuned instrument, the bearer detects dissonance before it manifests, and those who try to deceive are met with natural correction. Credibility falters, influence diminishes, social standing wavers, without the bearer needing to lift a finger. The universe itself ensures the distortion does not hold. Imagine tossing a pebble into a still pond. The ripples return, but instead of fading, they gather, expand, and reflect the source of the disturbance. That is the healer's stigmata in action. harm aimed at this person does not vanish. It circles back with clarity and precision, exposing the sender to the reality of their own intentions. The mark empowers its bearer with discernment and empathy. They navigate life with heightened perception, naturally drawn to roles where insight and care intersect, healing, guiding, mentoring, or simply moving through the world with quiet, unshakable awareness. Their energy is a filter, a safeguard, and a mirror all at once. For those who attempt interference, the consequences are swift, precise, and unavoidable. Lies crumble, schemes falter, misjudgments magnify. But the effect is subtle. It does not humiliate, it corrects. The lesson is clear. Truth cannot be obscured, and deception cannot touch those aligned with integrity. In action, the healer's stigmata feels like walking through a forest of mirrors. Every hidden motive, every misalignment in energy reflects back to its origin. The bearer moves undisturbed, the world around them subtly corrected, while those who try to manipulate are quietly, but unmistakably, reminded that energy always returns to its source. This mark is a blend of protection and insight, a silent sentinel that ensures integrity remains intact. It does not shout, it does not attack. Yet to interfere is to meet a reality-altering reflection, a force that transforms deception into correction, ensuring the path of truth remains unbroken. Fish mark, Matsya Rekha, vessel of Dharma. Near the base of the palm, tracing along the lifeline, lies the fish mark. Subtle, almost like a whisper pressed into skin, yet it carries the steady pulse of purpose. Those who bear it move through life with innate direction, navigating not only their own journey, but guiding others who rely on their clarity and calm. This is a mark of stewardship, of a soul entrusted with safe passage through turbulent waters. Life flows around a fish bearer differently. Emotional storms, relational chaos, or societal pressures may swirl wildly, yet they remain anchored, unshaken, and luminous. The mark transforms turmoil into guidance. Those who attempt to harm, deceive, or manipulate encounter consequences as if the universe itself has shifted the currents. Plans drift apart, alliances falter, clarity dissolves, and the disruptor becomes lost in the very turbulence they sought to impose. Picture a river, strong, steady, unyielding. Throw a branch into its current, and the water bends, pushes, and redirects it, not in anger, but with inevitability. The fish mark works the same way. Harmful intent is never absorbed. It is carried away, rebalanced, and returned, leaving the bearer untouched while the instigator drifts off course. This mark imbues its bearer with patience, composure, and subtle authority. They guide others by presence, by example, and by quiet alignment with natural order. It is a strength that does not need to be seen. It is felt, experienced by anyone who interacts with them. For those who interfere, the consequences are immediate yet understated. Missteps, confusion, failed plans, or emotional disorientation. The universe corrects imbalance, ensuring the fish bearer's purpose and guidance remain uninterrupted. The fish mark is a silent compass, a living emblem of Dharma in motion. Its power is not flashy, but profound. Interference is mirrored in the currents, while the bearer glides with steady insight, carrying both their own life and the flow of those around them with grace and unshakable clarity. Ring of Saturn, lone wolf guard. Beneath the middle finger, a subtle semicircle arcs along the palm, the ring of Saturn. At first glance, it seems quiet, almost private, yet it radiates a presence of solitude and unwavering focus. Those who carry it are guardians of their own path. They move with independence, shielding purpose and energy from the interference of others. It is not about isolation for its own sake. It is about clarity, discernment, and the preservation of integrity. Life respects a ring of Saturn bearer, often subtly shifting to accommodate their path. Doors close for those who would intrude, yet open for actions that align with their mission. Attempts to manipulate, dominate, or distract them rarely succeed. The mark acts like a quiet perimeter, a spiritual quarantine. Pressure dissolves against it, influence falters, and those with ill intent encounter obstacles they cannot anticipate. Imagine a lone wolf threading through the forest. Its path is deliberate, silent, protected by instinct. Any predator that attempts intrusion finds branches snapping underfoot, trails disappearing, and direction lost. The ring of Saturn works similarly. Energy aimed at its bearer is redirected, delayed, or dissolved, leaving the wolf untouched while the interloper stumbles. Those who bear this mark do not need to broadcast authority or demand attention. Their power is discreet, precise, and insistent, an invisible force that protects focus and mission. Interference is met not with anger, but with inevitability. Stalled projects, sudden obstacles, stalled negotiations, or miscommunications appear, perfectly timed to realign intent and maintain the bearer's autonomy. In essence, the ring of Saturn is a sentinel of independence. It enforces boundaries with reality itself. Those who intrude quickly discover that this is not mere stubbornness. It is a natural law, embedded into the very energy of the bearer. Their path remains intact, their purpose uncorrupted, while anyone who tries to obstruct it faces the cost immediately, tangibly, and unmistakably. Sacred mirrors of the soul. Respect, reflect, realign. These marks are not decorations. They are living instruments of responsibility, quietly shaping the flow of life around the hands that carry them. To encounter someone with these marks is to step into a subtle force field. Energy, intention, and character are reflected immediately. Harm, deception, or domination is never ignored. It returns, amplified and precise, as if life itself is correcting the imbalance. The hands act like mirrors embedded with intelligence. They do not speak, they do not lecture, yet everything directed at them, malice, manipulation, or petty control, appears back to the people who sent it, unmistakable and immediate. Imagine tossing a stone into water. Some ripples fade, but these mirrors send waves that circle back with exacting clarity. Nothing is lost, nothing is misdirected. Each mark carries its own signature, its own method of correction. The Ring of Solomon enforces authority. The Lotus reflects energy. The mystic cross preserves boundaries. The Star of Jupiter activates purpose. The healer's Stigmata detects dishonesty. The fish mark guides through turbulence. The Ring of Saturn safeguards autonomy. Together, they form a living network, each line a node of alignment, each curve a checkpoint of natural law. People who act without awareness feel the lesson immediately. Deceptive words falter, influence slips, ambition stumbles. Those who act with respect experience interactions flowing effortlessly, and insight, courage, and awareness are amplified. These hands are not just hands, they are instruments of universal order, teaching that true power is measured not by domination, but by alignment, clarity, and the ability to act with intention. To be in their presence is to sense life moving with intelligence, correcting itself, rewarding integrity, and revealing hidden truths. These are hands that quietly convey, intentions matter, every action leaves a trace, and the architecture of life is precise, observant, and just. Here, strength is not force, control is not power, and interference carries instant, unmistakable consequence. These hands are living mirrors of the soul, reflecting, protecting, correcting, ensuring that alignment, purpose, and integrity are never optional. Now take a quiet moment to look at your own palms. If you notice any of these marks, know that your path may bring unusual challenges, but it is gently guided and protected by forces beyond the visible. Life responds with subtle precision, nudging you back into alignment, opening doors, and correcting imbalance before it takes hold. These marks are not warnings. They are reminders that unseen guidance accompanies you, allowing you to move through life with clarity, purpose, and calm assurance. If this wisdom resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe to join us on the path of conscious living.